Hi folks, John with the Wingman 115 channel. Thank you so much for checking in. I'm always excited to be doing archery videos. Today we're going to be showcasing a bow brand new for 2020 from Southwest Archery. It's the Ghost. Now the Ghost is a 3-piece takedown longbow, and this one is in 45 pound. So what we're going to do to kick off this video is I'm going to quickly cut away. We're going to go over, do a quick specs rundown of this bow. I'll show you up close the ins and outs of it. We'll sling some arrows down range, and then we'll bring it back 360 for some final thoughts. Folks, it doesn't get any better than this. A beautiful day. You're here with me. The video starts now. Send a few arrows down range. Smooth shooter. Not bad, right out of the box, and I've done just minimal tuning to this bow. So in the keep it real department, let's spin the camera and I'll show you my groups. So not bad, shooting from about 12 yards. In an attempt not to hit the camera, we're going to try to give you a forward view on slinging some arrows down range. I'm shooting from about 15 yards here at the house. Smooth shooting bow. A little bit of vibration in the string, but that means I got to play with the brace height a little bit. Could be I'm shooting light arrows too. But I mean, it's not bad. Really smooth shooter, no hand shock. Now for some final thoughts on the Southwest Archery Ghost Takedown Longbow. First off, I've been shooting for a while. I had to get out of the sun, take a break and rest. So this is a great place to talk about this bow. First thing, I like the look of the riser. That satin finish on there and the way that they break up the riser, it just looks really nice. Now, I've been shooting it for a while, and these bows, after a while, they'll tell you if there's any issues. This bow, I had no issue at all. The handle on this riser, Southwest, you did a great job designing and just the ergos of the handle. The way the thumb ramp is, the pistol grip, and for my style of shooting, like I talked about, where I just touch my index and my middle finger ever so gently, it just works out really nice. Now the riser's also cut to center, so if you want to put a plunger or an elevated rest on this bow, it's not going to be a problem. This bow came with a stick-on elevated rest. I went with a more traditional look just because I like that style of shooting. The advantage of having that elevated rest would be if you're shooting plastic vanes versus feathers, but that's part of making these bows your own, giving it your own mojo. Now, since I'm there, it does have a bushing for a plunger or an elevated rest, so that's really cool. Also is pre-drilled for a quiver or bow sights, depending on the genre of archery that you're going to do. And there's also a bushing for either a stabilizer or a bow fishing rig. So there's full of options on this riser. You're only limited by your imagination on how you want to personalize it and make it your own. Now, they came out with some new limb bolts this year versus the old ones that they had. And I like the look of it. Word of caution, do not over tighten these limb bolts. Just put them down snug. The limb's not going anywhere. And they redesigned the pocket. So just nice, smooth transition on the pocket. The limbs fit in there really well, has a good fit, and it tracks well with the string. So the riser, just beautiful job, Southwest Archery. Now, let's talk about the limbs. Limbs have a maple core and fiberglass on the outside. The limb tips are reinforced for a fast flight string. And what I'll probably do after this review is put a fast flight string on this bow. This comes with a Dacron string. And I'm not going to say anything bad about the string, just, you know, if you want to personalize for your style of shooting and make something your own. I like fast flight and I like a Flemish twist string. I understand why they do it. At the price point, $169 is an awesome deal on this bow. And if you guys follow along on the channel, every bow that I purchase, I always change out the string. It's just a personal preference. So it's not a knock against Southwest Archery. They're delivering a quality product. And I mean, you could shoot this string for a long time, get a lot of use out of it. I'm just a fanboy of fast flight Flemish twist strings. So I'll be doing that, and I'll probably do an update video later on all the add-ons that I've done to this bow. Now, Takedown Longbow. I really like where Southwest Archery is going with this. I think we're in a renaissance era, and I mentioned that earlier, of traditional archery. I'm seeing a lot of folks that have shot compound for a long time starting to get into trad archery, whether it's recurve bows, longbows, or ILF. And Southwest is listening to you folks out there. Now, I'm a huge fan of archery and basically the founding fathers of archery. And I've watched Byron Ferguson. I've heard him talk. I've read a couple of his books. And one thing he said about longbows is that they're very forgiving to new archers. And what he means by that is that you can see how tapered down the limbs are. So you're getting a more robust thickness in the limb and a thinner profile on this flat bow, quote, longbow. So what happens is that when you're a new archer, a lot of times you're either twisting the string as you're pulling in your draw or your release, or you're plucking the string. There's a lot of different things that we do. And with a longbow, it's just more forgiving than a recurve bow. And to illustrate that, like I'm going to grip and look how I'm twisting. And I'm barely getting any flex. I mean, I'm twisting really good. And I'm barely getting any limb tip flex with this bow. And that's going to equate to a smoother release and having more fun while you're out there. And if you're a new archer, it's more about having fun, the instant gratification of hitting stuff, if you're going to stay in the sport and it's going to pique your interest. As you get going more in archery, you're going to work on your release. You're going to work on the mechanics of stuff. But my thought process is just getting into the sport. You can't beat a takedown longbow. It's going to be a lot more forgiving. Now, you're asking yourself, well, John, you're shooting a 45-pound bow. You know, I'm a new archer. Maybe that's too much draw for me. Maybe I'm a young teenage boy or girl, or a lady that doesn't want to draw 45 or 50 pounds. Well, Southwest Archery has answered that call. They make limbs that are 20 pounds to 50 pounds in 5-pound increments. So there's something there for everyone that's out there. And the great thing is that you're dealing with a company that is US based. So if you have a problem with the bow, they're here in America to take care of any warranty issues, any problems that you may have. And they're just a really good company to work with. And I just can't say enough good things about Southwest Archery and what they're doing for the traditional archery genre. If you want to learn more about this bow or any bow in Southwest Archery's lineup, I'll leave links in the video description below to their website, and I highly encourage you to check them out. I mean, for the price of these bows, $169 to get into archery, that is an awesome deal. Folks, with that said, this is John with the Wingman 115 channel. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.